Hello everyone, this is Sonia here, and as you know, I'm nowadays teaching how to write and what to write in an ERQ. So our today's ERQ is evaluate the use of one or more techniques used in the study of the brain and behavior. So this is a very simple one. You need to evaluate this answer. That simply means you need to write the strengths and the weaknesses of what? Of techniques used in the study of brain and behavior. So here brain and behavior is referring to that you need to pick up your supporting studies from biological approach. It can be any study. And by techniques means that what was used in that particular study, MRI, fMRI, PET or something else. So what are you going to write? You will start with an introduction followed by explaining one particular imaging technique. Example, let's say MRI. Tell what is MRI, what are the features, etc. And then write a supporting study from biological approach which has used MRI in it. After that, you write a paragraph stating the strengths and the weaknesses of using MRI in that study. So let's start writing. It's almost a ready-made answer and here it goes. So the first is the introduction part. I write the first paragraph and it goes like this. To evaluate the use of techniques to study the brain, there must be a discussion of the strengths and weaknesses of these techniques. The techniques I will discuss are brain scans using fMRI and MRI. Both methods are strong magnetic fields to take these scans. So here I have written introduction that I'll be using imaging techniques like fMRI and MRI, and these are important to study the study of brain and behavior. You can also write some more features which I haven't written here, but you can write what is MRI and what is fMRI and what are their features, basic features. That will obviously fetch you more marks. Then I write next paragraph as the study. A classic study carried out by Milner used an MRI to study the brain of HM, a famous patient with amnesia. HM had a biking accident as a child that meant he had epilepsy. To stop his seizures, he had a surgery which removed his hippocampus. To see what part of the brain was removed, Corkin carried out an MRI. She could see that it was in fact the hippocampus and part of the amygdala. This helped to confirm that the role of hippocampus is to transfer short-term memory to long-term memory. Then I write the next study which has fMRI in it, and it goes like this. In Sharat's study, she used an fMRI in order to study emotional memories from a traumatic experience. The participants were in New York City during the 9/11 terrorist attack. To study the response of the amygdala, Sharat had participants lie in the fMRI scan and flash different words paired with either September or summer to see the response in the brain. The results found that people who were in New York but not near the attack had the same level of activation of the amygdala for both sets of words. Sharat also found that those who had been near the attack had much higher activation of the amygdala. From the fMRI scan, the researchers were able to see that the amygdala seems to play a role in emotional memories and a large role in making of flashbulb memories. An fMRI cannot determine the function of the brain, but it can help the researchers know where the brain is activated during specific activities. This allowed researchers to create theories about the functions of specific parts of the brain. Now I had written introduction and two studies, supporting studies. One is for MRI, the other is for fMRI. Now main thing is evaluating both. So I'm going to write the strengths and the weaknesses which are very important. The next paragraph goes like, these techniques to study the brain can be very helpful to researchers in understanding functions of the brain. An fMRI allows researchers to see the blood flow to certain areas, showing increased activity in these areas, helping us to understand what parts of the brain function when. MRIs are helpful for looking at different in physical aspects of the brain. Some of the negative aspects of these techniques include an fMRI scan that does not allow for correlational results and cannot explain the data collected from a study. MRI shows no causation to the results, and all results from these techniques cannot determine the fact that created them. So the next paragraph is, the techniques of brain scans such as MRI and fMRI to study the brain are very useful techniques when studying the brain. These techniques allow for understanding of functions of the brain as well as understanding the difference in brain development. Therefore, brain scans are effective techniques to study the brain in psychology. And here we are done with our ERQ, but I would tell you very frankly that here there is you will not get a 7 in such kind of a question. The reason is you need to include good amount of strengths and weaknesses of both MRI and fMRI used in this study. Another thing that you have to write a more detailed conclusion, though conclusion carries 2 marks, but you need to write more on that. And then talking about the introduction, even introduction could have been much elaborated, which is not there in this ERQ. So I hope that you have understood that how to write this answer and what are the things that are missing in this answer so that you get a 7. This ERQ, I hope you understood, and if you have any doubts, please write in the comments below. And if you liked my video, please like, share and subscribe. And if you want any particular ERQ that you don't know how to answer or what content to write, please feel free to write in the comment section below. I will upload the ERQ of the same in my next video.